Hello to every single person on Earth and also all people and creatures out in space. Welcome back. I'm going to try to get through whatever chapter thingy this is for Neopets, and if it takes a long time, that's the video. If it's nice and quick, I can do some dailies and yapping after, but we gotta see what happened. If we recap, what happened, the void, and then everything was gray, and then we're getting these little rifts. So there's her right here. This is Balia. She's a gray fairy. She was doing good, and then she got her wings ripped off, and she was stuck in a cage. And then this small girly over here, Tavi, found her. So they're friends. This is Luxina. She's also a fairy. She has magic abilities. That's cool. And then the blue ice right here, this is Nyx. Nyx has a little brother, Ozzy, and it was just Ozzy and Nyx. And then Nyx went to Virtue Pet Space Station and abandoned Ozzy. But she was stuck in the void, but she didn't know how much time passed, and Ozzy became abandoned. But then Ozzy befriended, who was that girl's name? Vera. And Vera's evil because Vera's perceives herself to be ugly. And then both of them, they have Drakara, who is the big bad, the big evil. And then Drakara pushed Queen Fiora off the balcony. And Orion's nowhere to be seen. We don't have a lot of chapters left, TNT. And I know Orion's going to save the day. So maybe he'll be in this chapter, maybe he won't. I have to do a whole lot of stuff. Let's see what girl says. This is Balia, right? Balia? Yeah. Let's read the story. Let's see what happens. Chapter 15, Hope is the thing with feathers. Drakara and Voskibus move on to their next target. The Rainbow Fountain. As the fallen artificer gloats over her creation, destruction, and machinations, Balia must find the bravery to choose her own path. How many chapters are in this one? 10. This should be quick. This should be quick. Okay, so here we are. This is Drakara Mama. Is that? Maybe it's not. She's sending all this evil stuff. The Rainbow Fountain is in Fairyland. And Fairyland used to be in the sky, and now it's on the ground, and is where the fairies hang out. Some of them. Not all of them. And the Rainbow Fountain is like a cool fountain, and you go, and you can like dip your pet, but only if you have a paintbrush. Very fun, very fun. Is this Vivacious? What's this creature's name? Vakavis? So here he is. He says, crunch, crunch, crunch. He is tearing up Fairyland. This is Ozzy. This creature right here is Ozzy. Ozzy is Nick's sister. He went to the evil side because his sister abandoned him and no one likes him, and his dog ran away. But his dog didn't run away. The dog was tricked by Vera, the ugly one. And then that's her. Come now, Voikibus. We mustn't litter. And then here she is. I don't want any trash sullying the streets of my new kingdom. Besides, I want her to see this. Oh, so she didn't die. Okay, because this is Drakara. Drakara was turned gray by her, Queen Fiora. And then Queen Fiora was pushed off a little bell tower, and so we did a little 10-bell salute for Queen Fiora in the last episode. But I guess at the very last second, she's saved by this creature. So shout out to Queen Fiora. Or not, I guess, because she's kind of the cause of all this. Anyways, what do we have? We have Ozzy. There they are on this Wayland. This is the crew. They're heading for the Rainbow Fountain. No. Yip, 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 yip. You're right, Junie. Let's cut them off there. There's also, like, this, like, void pet, Junie, and then this little gray doggle fox. They're the animal companions. I guess the Wayland counts as an animal companion too. Let's keep going. Come to greet me, have you? Good. I even prepared you a gift. Or half of one anyways. So, inflict Queen Fiora. Just pew, 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 right there on the ground. And then they're like, Queen Fiora, you. And then we have Drakara girl. And she had the thumbs up. And then the thumbs down. And then we have this right here. Room. Destroying the town. And so for reading that, I get smashed potatoes. Cool. What up next? What do we have up next? Yeah. Okay. All right. Buckle up, pause the video, get comfortable, get you some water, because the monologues are back. Didn't want these to be back, but okay. This better this better be like the only one. Because I hate reading these. Okay. Let's go. It is both a beautiful and terrible sight to behold. The long-standing symbol of fairyland's vibrancy erupts in a kaleidoscopic spectacle, devastated by a single blow from Voikovus. Great surges of rainbow water cascade from the explosion, carrying with them chunks of earth and shards of purple stone. After the initial blast, all is silent for several moments, then Drakara's maniacal laughter rings out, a hollow, lonely sound that echoes across the ruins of the fountain. It's only briefly drowned out by Voikovus, hissing sharply as he shakes his tail dry and recedes from the approaching waves of rainbow water. No! Fiora feebly protests from the ground, but it's already too late. The rainbow fountain is gone. Drakara pauses her villainous cackling, turning her attention back to her former queen. Oh, what's wrong, Fifi? You're looking a little gray. We have to do something about that. Drakara steps over Fiora before whirling around and sitting atop a nearby piece of rubble behind her. And would you look at that? We're right here at the rainbow fountain. Oh, wait. Ha 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 ha. Without missing a beat, Drakara goes right back to her unsettling laughter, this time gleefully kicking her legs as she cackles. Fiora grits her teeth. That wouldn't have worked anyway, Drakara. You know that. She tries to lift herself, bits of debris digging into her palms, but half of her body simply won't budge, and as if she doesn't even see the point of moving at all. Of course. Just as I knew the acrimonious paintbrush wouldn't turn you entirely gray. You're too powerful, and I'm not suited for the brush the way I thought the gray painter was. Drakara looks back on the sheepish Yerbil still clinging onto Vokoskius's crest for dear life. He really is the perfect little bitter battery, which is why I'll hold on to him a little bit longer. I can convince him to be my gray painter once more, after I remove all his distractions. Drakara turns over to the acrimonious paintbrush in her hands, lost in thought for the briefest of moments. As proud as I am of my masterpiece, its effects are still not immutable, not like the ritual. Suddenly, Drakara's eyes snap up from the brush and fixate back on Fiora. But I'm sure I don't have to tell you that. We were both at the ritual that turned me gray, weren't we? Drakara, Fiora tries to tenderly chip in, but she can barely get a word out before she's cut off. Don't flatter yourself, Fifi. It was never about you, or what you did. That may be a hard concept for you to wrap your mind around. Drakara's gaze falls upon Balia. But perhaps your little friend here can help you. You may not be completely gray yet, but give it time. This one, on the other hand, has had plenty of time to get used to it. Drakara looms over Balia. Haven't you, my little caged bird? I... Balia can't hear herself stuttering over the sound of her heart. It's beating faster and louder than it ever has before. Faster and louder than it's intended to. The world starts spinning around her as her legs turn to jelly and feel like they've vanished entirely, as if they've never existed at all. She's pretty sure she's still trying to say something other than I. It feels as though each breath is smaller and quicker than the last, as the edges of her vision begin to blur into all too familiar iron bars. A cloaked figure taunts her from the other side of the cage. A sinister smile leers at her from just beneath the cowl. Hateful eyes gleaming as the hood obstructing them is pulled back, both burned forever into her memory. The very same sinister smile before her now. There's no more doubt. She can't deny it any longer. So there's Balia in the cage, and there's Ms. Drakara. Put her in the cage. Balia was supposed to be like this master apprentice. Put in a cage, turned gray. Yada yada yada. Balia takes a slow, deep breath before gingering, exhaling the word she's been struggling to find. It is you, Genumara. Balia's eyes slowly trail up to her sneering former captor. So, you do remember me then? I'm flattered, Drakara derides her, tussling her hair. Fiora looks on at the conversation with confusion. Genumara. Fiora repeats the name aloud. Tavi seems to be the only one who recognizes the name. No, is this the fairy who imprisoned her? Yes. And you must be the pest that freed her. Drakara examines her nails inattentively, like she hasn't got a care in the world. She certainly doesn't care that Kavi is there. Eyes ablaze with fury, the Kyrie tries to step forward, but Bailey clutches onto her, holding her tight. Her pleading eyes meet with Tavi's, quelling the fire within them. Drakara hardly notices, continuing. That magic lock wasn't my finest work, I admit. She glances down at Fiora, a cruel smile reaching from ear to ear. Using the gray fairy... just kidding. Using the end of her lance, Drakara tilts up at Fiora's chin. But I've improved on my design since then. What do you say we test that out on our newest gray fairy? Fiora turns away as forcefully as she can muster. Unless we have any volunteers, that is. Drakara spins to face the other. The entire group, even the headstrong Aisha, are all frozen in fear. After all, who in Neopia could stand up to someone strong enough to defeat Queen Fiora? Who in their right mind would dare challenge such an indomitable force of nature? As she glances over the despondent faces of her dwindling opponents, Drakara is certain that they all gasp that stark reality. However, she didn't glance low enough. That's what I... Bark! Drakara blinked. Was she... interrupted? Who in the world would risk defying her? She looks across the stunned faces in front of her. None of them seem to be responsible for that noise. Bark, bark! Incensed, Drakara's eyes built around until they find the culprit. Near her feet, standing beside the fallen Queen Fiora, is a doggle fox. Tiny, fatigued, and gray from head to toe, but definitely a doggle fox. You can't be. Bark, bark, bark! Relentlessly, the pet barks and growls. The pet barks and growls anyways, even growing bold enough to nip at the edge of her dress. Why, you brazen little vermin. What impudence. Vikiopticus, show this little mongrel what a real beast sounds like. Drakara raises the large crystal she first used to summon the creature to the void, and it glows and hums with a strange power. Voskovis brings his maw down to face Styx before unleashing a thunderous roar upon him. Yelp! Styx takes off running, tail between his legs, heading straight for the haunted woods looming far off in la distance. So there's a dog that's running away to the haunted woods, and there's more words on the page. Lucky me. Now, where were we before I rudely interrupt? You sure like to hear yourself talk, Nyx murmurs. She takes off her fear and steps forward. Normally I stand up to bullies like you without a second thought, but I haven't been feeling like myself lately. Nyx glances over at Styx's shrinking form as he runs towards the horizon. Lucky for me, that Dogglebox has more than enough heart for both of us. And after this is over, you apologize for scaring him. Her hands crackle with purple energy as void tendrils spring from around her wrist. Drakara couldn't care less. With a lethargic snap of her finger, she summons two of her abyssal acolytes before them. Bones and armor creak with every step as the skeletal soldiers converge on Nyx. Despite their reanimated appearance, they move deftly with tactical precision. The largest of the two, which appear to have at one point in history been a cow based on the bone structure, raises its shield, hooves planted firmly. Despite Nyx's void's tendrils lashing out fiercely, the ancient warrior holds their ground, blocking her extended wrist from even reaching the yawning Drakara. While the skeletal cow keeps up their ironclad defense, the smaller of the two warriors advances on Nyx, deftly twirling her hand axes. Before she knows it, Nyx is backpedaling away from the slashing abyssal acolyte that was once a drake. Well, now I suppose impolite ruffians are learning how to better conduct themselves. We can continue conversing like civilized fairies. Drakara diverts her focus back to the group which Fiora finally pulls herself up. I don't understand. How did you? Fiora trails off as she speaks, perhaps unsure if she truly wants to know the answer. Become so powerful? Get this far without you? Turn into this half-gray abomination? I already answered all those questions. Weren't you listening? Drakara wraps her fingers in a mocking annoyance. Your new name. Fiora's eyes widen as the pieces click together. So you've been following along. Genurama was the name bestowed upon me, and with it came new purpose. Who gave you? Wait, it couldn't have been. Fiora doesn't have a chance to finish her thought before Drakara interjects. I've already said too much. Besides, we have more urgent matters to discuss. Drakara's eyes fall to Baelia as she fiddles with loose grains of sand between her fingers. Whew, that was a long one. So what's the summary? What's going on, Fiora? My grave mistake has returned to take revenge not only on me, but all of Fairylands. It seems Drakara I once knew turned into the very same Genrama that took away Baelia's magic. That explains how she knew to perform the ritual, but not who bestowed the name upon her. Who turned her into this dark gray fairy hybrid? For Drakara's sake, I hope it's not who I suspect it is. And for DoubleCee's take, I hope we have some comics after this. Oh, okay. We're only 4 pages in, y'all. Queen Fiora needs our help, but those crusty old warriors Drakara summoned are blocking our path. We need to clear the way if we want to reach her in time. Now, who's with me? Take heed, Neopians. The fight for Fairyland has begun. Join fellow Neopians on the front lines or donate your times at the Neo Hospital volunteer efforts. So here we go. What have I done? Oh, it's not all bad. In fact, you helped me realize something about myself. I realize that I have quite the eye for talent. And so there she is. Because that's so that was Vera. That's little Vera. That's little Ozzy. And then we Baelia. Okay. This is fun. Vera, Aziz. Worthwhile prototypes to be sure. From them, I learned so much. I learned that misery breeds resentment. And resentment breeds ambition. From ambition comes power. They were both miserable, yes, but compared to you, my cage bird, their misery is nothing. My misery? Yes, I saw it in you. The potential for power beyond imagination, just as my own patron saw in me. I saw you when you were in Fairyland, miserable, anxious, a misfit, but I also saw great talent. Yes, I watched as your artificing skill grew. From my scrying bowl, I saw you become close with Fiora, with the Fairy Queen. But there was something missing from that picture. Can you guess what it was, Grey Fairy? I'm not... It was power. You lacked power, conviction. I was in your position once, you know. And I was cast out. Banished for being different. It made me realize that is where true power lies. Poor, sweet, alone and isolated Grey Fairy, I was only trying to help. Taking my wings was helping me? Of course, you needed to experience true misery, not the bleached and washed out shade of it you felt in which you were a light fairy. I knew what could make you whole, because you had fallen just as far as I had. We're the same, Grey Fairy. I know what's best for you. And what's best for you is to take this, the acrimonious paintbrush. What? No, I can't do that. Why ever not, my dear? I crafted it with you in mind after all. Is something the matter, my precious cage bird? Don't tell me you're so grateful you've been stunned into silence. And there's the silence. Don't listen to her, Bee. Stay out of this, pet. You've already led her astray once. I won't have you doing that again. This is all my fault. The paintbrush, the gray painter, all the way over Neopia, it was because of me. That's right, Grey Fairy. It's all your fault. And there's no fixing it now. All that's left for you is to take the acrimonious paintbrush and become who you truly are. You don't know who I am. Don't I? You're a Grey Fairy. You were once a promising artificer, but you lost your power, you lost your beauty, you lost your wings. You're helpless without me. Just like Fifi is. So take it. Take the power I'm offering you. No, I'm not. Yes, you are. You, Grey Fairy, are the only one fit to truly wield the acrimonious paintbrush, to use it to destroy what's left of Neopets' vitality, and make everyone feel what we once felt. I can't do that. I won't do that. Of course you can. And you will. My weapons are powerful but can only shine in the right hands. In your hands. Isn't this what you want? To connect with others at last? Together, the two of us can make them all understand. Neither of us will ever be alone or cast out ever again. I see. No, it isn't power you want. You want something else I was able to gain after my exile. You want something greater, more precious. You want a name, and I'm the only one who can give one to you. Isn't her name Balia? She has a name. She has a name. You can give me a name? Yes, my cage bird. And that is not all. A fairy without wings is completely helpless. But I can give you everything back. And Mama got wings. And Miss Balia has her wings back after 10, 15 years. When did Balia lose her wings? She has them back. Ladies and gentlemen, it took 2 years of this plot, but we're finally getting somewhere. Balia has her wings back, and she's going to be given a name that's not Balia. I don't know what it's going to be, but who knows? And she's the only one that has the power to wield the paintbrush. Veer can't do it. Ozzy's close, but he don't got it. And so Balia's going to have something to do with the paintbrush, and the rainbow fountain is gone. Queen Furia's all beat up. Where's King Rue? King Scarl hasn't been out here fighting him forever. King Altador is at least doing his part. Yeah. Her wings are back. She can be a fairy again. You don't really have any power without your wings. Balia has power back. Big implications. If only it didn't take 2 years to get here. But I get fabricated light fairy wings that are going to go right into my safety deposit box, never to be seen again. Oh, yay, yay. This is just what we wanted. More monologues. Oh, Neopets, you know that I love reading. Alright. 3, 2, 1, go. My wings, but how? Balia says, wincing as the ever-present pain of the vestial frolic years on her back flare up. Those few feathers had always been so heavy, and right now they feel as though they were made to bring her to her knees. My dear, I'm the most skilled artificer in Neopia and beyond. I could easily hammer out a new pair of wings for you. Drakara draws ever so slightly nearer. Balia hears her friends trying to move close to her, but one twitch of her past captures hand, and they freeze in their tracks. I could be useful again? Why, of course, you have your magic and able to fly. I could grant it to you all at once, Drakara says as she raises her hands into Balia's face and wipes away the tears she hadn't even noticed. But how? Oh, my darling cage bird. I was the one who took your wings away. Wouldn't I know better? Who would know better than I how to restore them? Drakara's other hand now grasps Balia's face. She hears her friends trying to call her, but they sound miles away. It is once again just her and Jenamura. Despite no bars between them, she still could not escape her grasp. You lost all your power, all your beauty, all your hope. Yes, Balia thinks to herself, I know. But I made you what you are today, and I can make you into what you will be tomorrow, too. That makes sense. The most powerful, beautiful light fairy in all of Neopia. A light fairy? Her as a light fairy again? She hasn't realized it until now, but she had stopped thinking of herself when it came to light fairies. But that's what she wants, right? Luxina pops into her mind, then, and she is a powerful light fairy, confident and comforting, shining her brightest even when it's hard, but she's never really been anything like Luxina. Balia tries to pull back out of Drakara's grasp, but her captor holds tight for a moment before releasing. But the dark fairy leaves her arm outstretched to Balia, waiting. Bay, don't listen to her, Tavi yells from somewhere behind. She sounds closer now. Tavi had done so much for her, freed her, stayed with her, saw her. But it wasn't enough. After all these years, they were never able to find her a name, never able to figure out who she was. Drakara's hand reaches closer once more. Baelia hates her. She has hated her, with every fiber being. But she isn't wrong. Semicolon. Without her, Baelia will always be nothing. You don't need her, Luxina shouts. She sounds almost right next to Baelia now. And you don't need those wings to be useful. You're more than that. The cries of her friends flood in. Her friends' words push past Drakara's as hard as they can. Yet Drakara doesn't move. Her eyes simply flare as she says, I've heard enough. And with that, her friends' voices ricochet away once more. One voice remains, however. Baelia, fight this. Queen Fiora's voice is weak, but her tone is persistent. Oh, Fifi, you of all people can't be acting as though you are on this pitiful girl's side. Drakara laughs as she turns to Queen Fiora. Their eye contact breaks, and Baelia grasps for air. Not when you're the one who used to turn fairies gray. What do you mean? Baelia's voice almost falls. That's not the full truth, and you know it, Fiora shouts, turning towards Baelia with a pleading look of guilt. Baelia's knees buckle and she collapses to the ground, prompting her friends to try once more to move to her side. Drakara places a hand on her shoulder as a clear message to stay back. Come now, Fifi. Tell her. Tell her how you hid away every reference to the Grey Ritual, because of how you doomed her and those like her. The Grey Ritual, Bailey says, barely above a whisper. Fiora attempts to stand. Nyx and Judy aid her, but she only gets partway before collapsing again. The queen takes a quick breath and seems to resign herself to the ground before continuing. It's not how she makes it sound. I swear to you, Baelia. Fiora's voice is weak, pleading, no longer the firm, regal cadence of a queen. The Grey Ritual was meant to be a pilgrimage of sorts, one that fairies who felt to disconnect with their magic could make voluntarily. Ones that fairies who felt disconnected with their magic could voluntarily choose to undergo. Why would you hide this, Baelia says as she wraps her arms around her, trying to quell her shaking. Because choice. Choose is the important word for this ritual, but the Almighty Queen came to believe herself above that, didn't she? Drakara's words drip with malice. Fairies used to choose to be turned gray, Baelia asked, her head spinning. When I took my predecessor's throne, I forbade the use of the Grey Ritual as anything other than a mean to help fairies find what called to them outside of their magical ties. The one time I went back on that, when I used it as a punishment, just like the former queen, it changed everything. It certainly did, Drakara scoffs. I swear I thought it was the only way to save you, Drakara, Fiora cries out. The others, they wanted you. Silence. You have said all that we needed to hear. Drakara smirks as she wrenches Baelia to her feet. If you could forcibly turn others to save them, then so can I. Don't you see now, my little gray one? Drakara continues as she pulls Baelia in closer. There's still so much that you don't know. Without me, you'll forever remain a weakling on the outskirts of society. Stop this! Fiora's voice once again pushes back at Drakara. She's standing now, only slightly supported by Nyx. There's a lot you don't know, Baelia. And there is a lot I need to atone for. But the ritual only turned fairies gray. Their hearts are what transform them after. The gray around Fiora begins to creep up her arms as she speaks. Having someone else turn you into what they think best? Well, just look at yourself, Drakara. How'd that turn out for you? I said silence, Drakara spits as she turns to Fiora. Without any hint of her next move, Fiora sends a surge of power right towards them. Just close enough to Bailey that Drakara has to release her grip to block it. As Fiora's attack streams forth, the gray affecting her inches its way around her body. But she wasn't stopped, even as her other wings begin to droop. Drakara easily blocks the attack, but it acts as a wall between her and Baelia. Baelia realizes it's a perfect opportunity to flee, to leave Drakara's grasp once more, but she finds she cannot move, until she feels something move across her shoulder. A shadow, she turns around. Someone stands right there, with the halo of the sun over their shoulders. Who? She whispers. The little figure steps forward. A Kyrie, looking almost exactly the same as the first time they met like this, With a familiar smile, she extends her hands out. There's Tavi for all the Tavi haters. Couldn't be me. Okay. Let's go. Tavi grabs Balia's hand before anything else registers and pulls her back towards her friends. Fiora's magic dwindles as the two of them reach up, and they all form a barrier around Balia, as if protecting her from her captor. And yet, even though she's safe amongst them, she can still feel the pull of Drakara's gaze. Saying one final goodbye, are we? Drakara chuckles. Balia's friends pulling closer around her, but the dark fairy seems unperturbed by their presence. Her glare cuts right through them to get to her. We can go back and forth on this as many times as you like, but deep down, you know we're the same. Drakara reaches out her hand, slowly, methodically. You know I'm your only option. Before she can even stop herself, Balia takes a step forward, but her friends are all there in front of her. It's okay, Bee. We're here, Tavi says, looking back at the others over her shoulders as she stands ready with her climbing hooks out. Yeah, don't listen to her, Balia. She doesn't know anything about you. Nick says as Junie gives a supportive yip yip next to her. Both are posed to fight, their void essence shimmering as they ready themselves for an attack. Come now, Balia. Drakara's cold tone snatches Balia's very breath from her once more, and she takes another step. Drakara is still her only option, her only path to be useful again. Her lungs burn as she goes for another step. Without Drakara, she's still nothing after all. She is useless. She can't trust her. She knows this. Her heart pounds in her chest, but she still is just Balia, the Great Fairy. Just breathe. Luxina's hand softly squeezes her own. Focus on what you can in the moment. Focus on what's right for you. Luxina then lightly cups Balia's face in her hand, and she's finally able to take heaving breaths as tears flow down her cheeks. Balia doesn't want to leave these hands, but knowing she can if she chooses to. She gently grasps Luxina's hands from her face and takes them in her. No pushback, no hesitation. Luxina has nothing but concern and care for her eyes as Balia turns back to the dark fairy's glare. Drakara sighs. How disappointing. I'd hoped to do this the easy way, but no matter what, the hard way is just as easy. For me, at least. Here's a little summary. What's going on, Balia? Drakara has offered me my wings back once again in her grip. I'm not sure I'm strong enough to escape, especially after finding out about Fiora and the Grey Ritual, but my friends are still fighting for me even when I'm not sure what to think anymore. Comic picture. Please do not. And this is the last. Good. Okay. So what do we have here? We have a Thune. Drakara's done with the... She's done with this. Drakara got things to do, places to be. She got people to see. And it's not these group of people. Hold on. Don't worry about us, B. We're fine. Balia. You all kept calling me that. But that's not my name. And you say we are the same. But the only thing we have in common is being miserable. And I don't want to be that anymore. Okay. Gleaming rainbow background. Am I at the end? We are friends. We made it through this little chapter of the thingy thing. What chapter was this? 14? 15. We have 3 chapters left. Okay, what's going on? What's going on? What's the battle like? How's everyone doing? What's going on with Balia? Balia had the opportunity to get her life back, her wings back, all this fun stuff. And she's choosing to fight by her friends. Queen Fiora, gone. Rainbow Fountain, gone. This is great. This is fantastic. These challengers, are they going to be hard? How difficult are you? Can I beat 200? I don't know if I can beat 300. We'll worry about that another time. That is the Void Within. I'm going to do some quick dailies just so we can kind of really let it sink in how everything is doing in Neopets. I feel like we're finally getting things happening. We only have 3 chapters left. But what the people are wondering is, where is Orion? How does, music play into all this? Because, it kind of does. We know Bailey is going to keep going with her friends. But what's going to happen? Is she, what's gonna happen? Because who was the fairy that was like at the rainbow fountain? Does she not have a place anymore? What's going on with Balia? How is this going to impact a fairy festival coming up in like September? Because like doesn't Queen Fiora usually lead that? Are we going to not have any more gray in like 3 weeks? This is crazy. Like I know logically the plot's been going on entirely too long, but like ending in 3 weeks? That's too fast. That's way too fast for me. What are my quest log presents? Let me know what you all are thinking about chapter 15. I feel like I said, we're finally getting things, but like the pacing was off, but then we took the little Neopet breaks. We took the breaks for a reason. I want to know what we're doing with Fairyland and what's going to be like the big change, because in TNT they said like there's going to be like a lasting change from this void plot thing. So we're skipping this. How's everyone else doing? Are you all fighting your people? I think I can do that last little void challenger. I think I can beat him with Lepidolite's current little, what is it called, training abilities. I just don't feel like doing it on camera. But I have enough like blockers. I have lens flare. I think I can do that. How's everyone doing? How's life? We're almost there. Another thing we're almost there on. Are we going to get this? What is it called? This community reward for the void essences. Because I was trying to get y'all to get to 80 last plot thing and we weren't there. And so we're supposed to get to 8. We're at 79. We're going to make it, y'alls. We're going to make it to the next community goal. We should be at like the 100 mark. I don't think we're going to make it to like the 100 million, but we're finally going to make it past 80. I feel like we've been on 80 for like a year. So everyone make sure you go get your little void essences. There we go. Sorry, it's been a second. I was at a concert last weekend. And I had a bit of an excellent time. Live music. That's what life is about. And we got a surprise opener, which I was excited about. And we got our regular like opener that we knew about. And then we had the main act. It was a real long night. I'm gonna tell you that. I'm not too old to go to concerts yet, but I can't do like festivals or anything. But it was a great weekend. Last weekend I had a super duper fun time. It's one of those things, and it's like I went to like the concert like solo, and it was great, absolutely fantastic. And then that concert was on Saturday, and then Sunday I kind of hit a lazy day in the city. I got merch from the concert. Needs to be stopped. There was a hoodie that was like $130, which I didn't get, but like, come on, y'all. And I'm doing this video today. Quick little dailies. Not a whole lot structurally has changed on Neopets. I'm not going to go through like all the news and all that stuff, but I'm not going to be in here this weekend because I have to go on a trip. Going on a trip for the little US holiday, so I will be doing that. And so your next video is going to be in like a week when I recap the next part of the Void Within plot. And then after that, summer. It'll be summer. I passed my class, I know, because I've been dragging you all into my personal life in these videos. Passed my class. I did very well on my paper. Was not expecting to do that good on my paper, but I ended up with a 95% in the class, so my 4.0 GPA is saved. Shout out to me for having. I was like really worried about my paper. I got points off on like citations, which like I kind of knew I would, but I didn't get as many points off as I expected. So like I kind of understood citations a little bit, so there we go. This also isn't like my own original like research or anything. It's an intro class, so there we go. Even though you guys should like cite things correctly, I'm just saying this isn't a dissertation for me. But I passed, and now I get to have my little summer off. I was thinking, maybe do I want to take classes this summer? Maybe not. But I already originally had a class and dropped it, and I'm gonna just have a fun little unemployed girl summer. Like that's That's it. I'm gonna play Neopets. I'm gonna ignore the Altador Cup because that's like the next big thing that we're for sure getting. Maybe the big change will be that the Altador Cup won't suck to play. That should be the big change to Neopets. But there we go. I thought I had more personal updates, but I don't. Hate my job, but that'll be over with soon. Had fun at a concert, but it's also like, yeah, work found in kitchen, fun found in concert. But sometimes you see an artist live and it's a little different than their albums. Different than the radio. Luckily for me, all my faves, they have the vocals. They have the vocals. So that's just all I've really been thinking about for the past couple days is like, I should really just like have fun. Life is meant to be fun, you know? It's not meant to be like hating your job and like hating school and all that stuff. So there we go. I like music. Breaking. I have to go on a trip, which I'm very excited about, but I have to get through work first. Did I tell you? Zamafolia is polka dot. Zamafolia is polka dot, which is fine. I need Zamafolia to be a new Neopet species. I don't want a Kiko. I don't want a Yerbil. I don't want a Jub. But it's time. It's been like since what, January that we've been doing this. She changes gender, which is fantastic, baby girl. What I actually need is a species change. And your fire. See, this is what I mean. Are we doing this? Pretty please. So, I'm gonna let y'alls go. Because I have a fire Lenny. Let me know how you think everything's gonna go with the plot. I think Bailey is gonna like find power within or something and she'll start doing rainbow fairy stuff, even though I thought, wasn't it like the water fairy, or was it Queen Fiora who was in charge of the rainbow fountain? Queen Fiora, rest in peace, baby girl. Like, you're alive, but you're not it. Sorry, bestie. Nyx and Ozzy are gonna reunite at some point, and Orion is gonna come back, and he's gonna lead us, and he's gonna defeat Drakara, and then we're gonna get a daily. We get to see Orion every day. Those are my predictions. Let me know yours down below, and I will see you later. Bye.